Hello everybody. Today is a special episode. I know normally I do my vibe sessions, I try to do them around Friday, and I know I just had one yesterday, but due to circumstances, Thanksgiving tomorrow, and the day after that is Black Friday, and then I have a busy weekend, so instead of doing it and then doing it next week on Monday or Tuesday like I did this time, I'm going to do it now. So, as you can see, I am sporting pink today. By our time, today is Sayu's graduation day. I guess it was still technically today by Japanese time, too. It was very early in the morning, like 2 o'clock or so. Thanks to a buddy of mine, Manuel, who we met through going to mutual events and whatnot. Actually, I found out that they were doing a stream of it. I was gonna go to bed, and I tuned in anyways just to see what they were doing, and Fantasy ga Hajimaru was the first song that was up, which is my favorite song, Morning Musume song, by the way, and I said, what the heck, let's do it. So, as a tribute to Sayu, this episode is going to be all about Sayu and her graduation. So I'm sporting this for the Pink Army. I got this. It's a wristband that I got actually from what's the name of the group? JP Hip group. They were handing these out, so I got one, and I got my my pink power. This thing is so bright. I love it though. This is thanks to a friend of mine, Hiroshi-san, who actually got this from Japan for me when he came for the New York trip, and got this for me. So I decked this out for New York, and I totally use this in New York. Pink power. So I'm just gonna hold this here and wave it around just because it looks cool and I like it. Gotta show off the pink for Sayu. So, you know, after watching the graduation, by many accounts, it was an absolute disaster. Anybody who watched it knows I feel really sad and really bad that it turned out this way. Unfortunately, basically, she hurt herself about a third, I think it was third, maybe halfway through the concert. She fell and hurt herself. I don't know if it was a sprain, a fracture, a torn ligament, I don't know, but it seemed really painful. And like a trooper, she kept going. She kept going. She sat down a few she sat down a few times. She was bawling. She was crying. Her voice was kind of messed up because she was crying, so she couldn't sing properly on some parts. But she kept doing it. She kept going, and I was actually really impressed with that. So, despite the fact that that part means that some of the formations were messed up, and the rest of the group, by the way, did a really good job of actually improvising to kind of fill in the gaps. I was really proud of them. Despite that, despite the little singing hiccups, she did a good job, and they all did a good job, and I was actually really impressed. You know, one of the things I complain about the most is lack of improv with new Morning Musume, and it shows that obviously the skill is there, it's just that's not their style that they're shooting for. They got the skill for the improv. They were able to improvise as they needed to on the spot for that concert. They made it work. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. It was her glorious day, and it was ruined to an extent. But us fans were there the whole entire time. We supported her no matter what, online, in person, whatever. We did everything we could to support her, and I hope she knows. She'll never see this. I'm 99.9% sure she'll never see this video. Even if she does, she'll probably never understand it. But I hope she knows that us fans, her Pink Army, will never, ever, ever stop supporting her. And despite the fact of what happened, I feel like we did that. We still love her, and we understand these things happen. It just sucks because it was her glorious moment, her moment of pride, and that had to happen. So, I feel bad, but all in all, I think it was a pretty good concert. Actually, the overall, the song selection was really nice. Everything was put together really nicely. I liked the costumes, and despite the little hiccups of the pauses and her collapsing a few times because of her leg, or foot, it actually turned out really well. I'll reserve my judgments for when I see the proper full concert when it releases in February, when I get it on Blu-ray. But for the 2/3 I saw, I was really impressed. I really liked it. The medley was good. It was really emotional. It was really charged. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of love. I was really happy. Like, I repeat again, despite the negativity, it was a glorious send-off. And honestly, one of my favorite things was when they did Mikari Bijin, and then they had the farewells, like the goodbyes, like the individuals saying goodbye to her after. It was beautifully placed. I actually really liked the way they did that. It was very emotional, really well done. And me and Manuel actually had a lot of back and forth conversations, just basically blurting out comments to each other on Facebook as we watched it. It was fun. It was fun. I'm really glad he showed me, and despite the sleep I lost, I'm really sleepy right now actually. Tomorrow I have the day off, so that's okay. Despite the sleep I lost and the time and everything and the way it turned out, I'm really glad I watched it. So, Sayumi Michishige-san, Sotsu, you know, I've been practicing Japanese for so long, and then I screw up when I'm on camera. Sotsugo omedetou. I'm really proud of her. She's it was a really long run, last remnant of my group. The way my best friend says it, it's the end of an era, the start of something new. It's really scary, to be honest. Even though almost everybody's new in current Morning Musume, Sayu was the last link holding it together that still held my connection, and now it's all gone. These aren't the girls I knew I started with. I love them all, don't get me wrong, but these aren't the same ones. It's different. But that's the nature of the group. We have to understand that. We have to learn to accept that. Nobody's gonna stick around forever. It's just tough, you know, you grow so attached to them because of the styling, the way everything's presented, the way everything's done. You learn to love them, and then they go away. One of the best analogies I made was a college graduate. I mean, going off to college, you know, you raise your kid, you love them, you give them all the nurturing, you pay a lot of attention to them, and then suddenly they go off to college and poof, poof, they're gone. That's it. There's no more. So, it's crazy, and it's tough, and you know, it's weird having to say like, hey, like Sayu's not there anymore. Sayu's not there anymore. It's crazy. It's weird. Mizuki is now the leader. The leader of Morning Musume. A little young, so they didn't make her the leader of Hello Project. Now Mayumi Yajima. Would have been Saki, but Berries is leaving too. Great. Let's not even start about this. Mayumi is the leader of Hello Project now. And let's see. Mizuki is Morning Musume leader. Haruna is still sub-leader, and now with her is 9th gen member Erina, which I think is actually a very surprising, but a very good choice. A lot of us thought it was going to be Riho, so I'm actually really happy with the Erina choice, despite my being upset with Erina's disrespect towards Sayu that she did at the concert. At least the way I saw it disrespectful. But I think she deserves this, and it's nice for her, and I think she'll do a lot of good, and it'll help her grow a lot. And Haruna, of course, she's got the ability to speak. She's a really good people person, so she's a good sub leader. So it's really nice, actually. I like where it's going. Yeah, so I'm really happy. I'm really happy and really sad at the same time. It's a really big change to have to take in. It's really different. It's really weird. But I'm very looking forward to seeing what direction they go in as Morning Musume 1-5. And speaking of Erina, I might as well mention it. This is about Sayu. I felt like she was a little big-headed and she had a little bit of an arrogant attitude the moment she found out she was sub-leader. In her defense, she was probably the last person that anybody thought would become sub-leader, so she was probably really proud of herself, and we're proud of her too. So I can forgive that, that's okay. She deserves a little bit of pride for that. The thing that bothered me the most was, and I don't see anybody else complaining about this, so maybe I'm just being overly analytical about it, but by Japanese cultural standards, you know, you have to respect your elders and your seniors. It's a very important thing. There's 2 types of speech, and different conjugations for the type of speech and everything. You have formal and informal. Now I understand they're like a close-knit family and whatnot, but the way she, and I understand looking back on the news, kind of probably presented as a joke, but the way it was done, when she was talking to Sayu about her being sub-leader and about her like saying, I'm gonna do my best, and then Sayu says, you know, ganbatte, which is do your best, then Erina does this thing where she's just like, yeah, and what? You know, finish the sentence. Ganbatte what? That's basically what she was doing. And the formal form of that would be ganbatte kudasai, which is more formal. So just the fact that she's the kohai and Sayu was a senior and she was doing that to her, I just felt like that was really disrespectful and out of place. Normally that would be all fun and nice and funny and all nice, but for one, this is Sayu's day. Don't need to do that. Fine, if that's how their personalities are with each other, that's okay. Second problem that really hurt it is Sayu's day was already completely screwed up. She was already distraught. She was already depressed. She's already completely broken up because of the way her concert's going. This is her day, and it's in her eyes, it's a screw up. Despite the fact that the fans probably were okay with it. We're all still loving and supporting her. But for her, it's a screw up. It's her perfect day. It's her last day. And that was done. And then the fact that she presented it that way, I felt that that was a little disrespectful. Very disrespectful and inconsiderate. But nonetheless, that's my opinion on it. I've cooled down about it, and I have my moments where I'm mean in situations where I shouldn't be with my friends, and they understand and they forgive me, and vice versa. So that's okay. In the end, that's okay. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I felt like that. Like I said, I felt like nobody else was really talking about it. But still, I love them all, and we all do our things. That's okay, whatever. So, Sayu, I'm so proud of her. I wish her the best in the future, and I know this is a little bit of a longer episode, but I'm going to turn this into also a Thanksgiving thing. So, I want everybody to spend the time tomorrow, please. Family, friends, by yourself, however you want to spend it. Hopefully you're not working. If you're working, then also try to be just thankful for what you have. You know, we all have our difficulties. We all have negative things in our life. We all have trouble. Some are depressed. Some have very tough lives. Some are poor. Some are starving. Some are happy. Some are rich. Some are somewhere in the middle. They're all over the place. But we all have something to be thankful for. So just take a few minutes out of the day. And I don't care what your spirituality is, what your belief is. Just look at what you have. Try to find something to be thankful for. And just be appreciative of it. Whether it be as simple as something like, I had a meal today. Maybe it wasn't a good meal, but I had a meal. I have a full stomach. Simple as that to something as complicated as thanking for what maybe your mother has done to raise you. Whatever it be thankful. Be thankful. There's many things I'm thankful for, but keeping in relation to what we're talking about on the topic, I'm very thankful that Sayu helped make Morning Musume what it was. Helped shape a lot of positivity in my life through Morning Musume. She was a really good leader, and actually is tied as my favorite Morning Musume member now with Ai, after how hard she worked and how much of the concert really proved to me that she will put her all no matter what. And that hit right here for me. So she's definitely my favorite next to Ai. This may change, maybe it was a spur of the moment thing, but currently she is. And yeah, so I'm thankful that she's there. I'm kind of sad that she had to go out with an injury like Aika did, but I hope she finds a way to be thankful too. And for those of you, a little bit off topic, but still kind of related, for those of you who have to work on Black Friday, please be calm, please be safe, and that's the best I can give you. I've worked Black Friday multiple times, and I know how it is. Best of luck out there, guys. And thank you for everything. And, end of an era. We love you, Sayu. Thanks for watching, guys.